We're going to be looking at something called completing the square. We're just going to quickly review both of these trinomials. How would you factor these? What do you notice about these two trinomials? Anyone notice anything about them? Both of these are perfect square trinomials. What does that mean if they're perfect square trinomials? Yep.
It means that it can be squared.
Well, the first term and the last term are perfect squares. We can find the square root of 25. What is it?
5.
Good. And if I put a 1 here, what's the square root of 1x squared? Just x, good. And the sign in the middle is positive, so both of these will be positive. So if I simplify this, it's just going to be x plus 5 squared, right? Remember, these are perfect square trinomials. And then the second example, what's the square root of 64?
8.
Good. And then the square root of 1x squared. And we have negative in the middle. The b value is negative. So simplified, this is just x minus 8 squared. I want you to look at the value of b. Okay, which one's b? X squared plus bx plus c. What do you notice about the value of b? B, and you divide it by 2. What's the answer? Let's do this one as an example. So 10 divided by 2 equals, if I take that result and do what with it, how would I get the answer for c? Square it. If I square this, I'll get c, right? C is equal to b divided by 2 squared. This rule always works when you have a perfect square. As an example, based on what I just explained, to find c, what would you do? Take b divided by 2 and then square the answer. Can you turn this into a perfect square trinomial then? X squared plus 6x. So what's b? My b value is 6. What's 6 divided by 2? What's 3 squared?
9.
We just created a perfect square trinomial. Let's check. Can you factor this? X times x. What's the square root of 9? Positive. Positive. Is that a perfect square trinomial?
Oh, yeah,
yes. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to create perfect square trinomials. By doing so, we're going to eventually be putting this into vertex form. Okay? What this is called is completing the square. So looking at this example here, is this a perfect square trinomial? No, it's not. What we want to do is we want to make this a perfect square. Which value tells us that this is not a perfect square trinomial?
2.
Good. The c value. So what we want here is we want to have x squared plus 6x plus something, right? To create the perfect square, but we still have this plus 2, correct? Okay, we still have that plus 2, but we want to find a value that will make part of it a perfect square. So how do we find the c value? How do you find c? C is equal to b divided by 2 squared. And we just did this example. B value, yep, is 6 divided by 2 squared equals 3 squared, which is 9. So what we're going to do here is x squared plus 6x. If I put plus 9, that creates a perfect square, right? You cannot just add something randomly to an equation or an expression, right? You can't just add in 9. But what if I do this? What if I add 9 and then I take away 9? What's 9 take away 9?
0.
Can I do that? Yes. I can put in 9 take away 9, right? No. So what we've done here is this part of the expression is the perfect square, right? Correct? Do I have a number in front of my bracket? Well, technically we can put a 1 there, okay? So technically, I can get rid of this negative 9. I can put it outside the bracket, right? I just want this x squared plus 6x plus 9 inside the bracket because that's my perfect square. To remove this minus 9, well, if there was a value in front of this, I would have to multiply it by that. But because it's just 1, what's 1 times negative 9? So I can take it out. It's out now, negative 9, and I have my plus 2. That was there all along. Now we have a perfect square trinomial right here. Can you factor this now? So now that we've created a perfect square trinomial right here, can you factor this? What's the square root of 9? And the square root of x squared?
What happens with 2?
What's the sign? Okay, and then we know it's going to be x plus 3 times x plus 3. So let's just simplify it right away. X plus 3 squared.
Plus 2.
No, and then it's
Minus 9.
negative 9 plus 2. What's negative 9 plus 2?
I don't get it.
We're simplifying this. Negative 9 plus 2 is negative 7. Oh my gosh. This is vertex form. This is in vertex form. Y equals ax minus h squared plus k.
Made with Doodlecast Pro.